Our event will begin 3 minutes later. Please be seated. Our staff members have prepared coffee and tea for you outside the gate. Simultaneous interpretation headphones are also available. Restrooms are on the left side of the lobby. Time is up. Our event will begin. Firstly, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Helen Yang, the chairperson of Program Development Committee, PDC, of PPSEAWA International, and the executive consultant of Taiwan Creative Economy Association, TCEA. I'm the organizer and one of the moderators of the United Nations Non-Government Organizations Committee on the Status of Women, UNNGO CSW 68 Annual Meeting Parallel Event. Now I would like to introduce our co-moderator, Ms. Jenny Yang, President of PPSEAWA Canada. She just flew back Taipei from Toronto, Canada. Jenny, thank you for your assistance. Thank you too. The PDC of PPSEAWA International and the TCEA have consequently for the 9th year organized CSW annual panel events. We would like to thank you, our other organizer, Taiwan Global Consumer Protection Association, TGCPPA, Mr. Xinbao Zhuang, President of TGCPPA, and his members are with us. Welcome. President
John and the members would be please stand up and wave your hands to greeting our participants. Our co-organizer and the National Alliance of Taiwan Women Association and ATWA Taiwan Coalition Against Violence, TCAV, Mr. Shou Feng Chen, Executive Supervisor of NATWA and a member from NATWA and the TCAV, please stand up and wave your hands and greeting and participants. Thank you.
We also thank our honorable guests, Mr. Wang Anjiang, Mayor of Taipei City, Ms. Inga Ronda King, UN Permanent Representative of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Mr. DGM Archer, 2025-2026 District Governor nominee of District 3490, and the Conference General Council of Rotary Club. Mr. Archie and the members from Rotary Club, would you please stand up and greet our participants? Thank you.
In addition, we will thank you, our event panelists, Ms. H.E. Angela Bowman, Ambassador of St. Vincent and Grenadines, Mr. Ms. Mondia Bahaman, President of PPSEAWA International.
She's on the line.
She's on the line. Oh. Mondia. Yeah. Mr. Fred Chen, President of TCEA. Ms. Mandy Chen, President of PPSEAWA Taiwan ROC. Your sister 没有来，不要说了吧。Mr. M. Will Hamlas, Chairman and Arabic Chairman of Commerce Taiwan. Miss Amy Banker, UN and New York representative of PPSEAWA International.
Now we would like to invite Mr. Wang Anjiang, Mayor of Taipei City, to deliver his welcome address through video.
Greetings to all the distinguished guests of NGO CSW 68 Forum. I'm Wayne Chung, the Mayor of Taipei. First of all, I would like to thank Pan Pacific and Southeast Asia Women's Association International for inviting me to the forum. On this special day of International Women's Day, I'm honored and delighted to give the opening remarks. As you all know, the UN 68 CSW meetings are being held in New York these 2 weeks. Taipei City government has participated in CSW and NGO CSW events since 2007. For 18 years in a row, this year we also sent a delegation to New York for hosting parallel events. The priority theme of the 68 UN CSW focuses on accelerating the achievement of gender equality and empowerment of all women and girls by addressing poverty and strengthening institutions and financing with a gender perspective. Data show that about 70% of the 1 billion poorest people are female. It is a collective goal for the globe to help women get out of poverty, to steady women's financial situation, and to empower women to elevate economic status. It's time for government agencies and CSOs to work together and tackle these issues. Taipei, as the capital of Taiwan, will continue to work hard and fight for women's rights. As a matter of fact, we have been paying much attention to the issues of women's rights and gender equality for many years. We will keep making our efforts to realize gender equality and create a gender-friendly environment with public-private partnership. In closing, I wish the event of today the best success and every participant a healthy and happy life. Thank you.
Thank you, Taipei City Mayor. Next, we would like to invite Ms. Inga Rhonda King, UN Permanent Representative from St. Vincent and Grenadines, to link with our online and deliver her welcome message. Thank you. This very late in the night in New York. Thank you. Time is for you.
Thank you, and greetings from New York City. It is indeed an honor for me to be with you today. I begin by expressing my sincere appreciation to the esteemed committee of PPSEAWA International and the Taiwan Creative Economy Association for extending this invitation to me to speak at this important forum. Ladies and gentlemen, today you gather in the name of advancing women's dignity and strength through economic empowerment. In a world that has long been skewed towards inequality, economic empowerment represents not just a step, but a necessary leap towards leveling the playing field for women everywhere. Empowering women economically is more than just about ensuring fair wages and job opportunities. It's about recognizing the value and potential women bring to the table in every sphere of life. It's about dismantling the barriers that have historically prevented women from accessing education, capital, and the chance to lead. When women are economically empowered, they gain more than just financial independence. They gain the strength and the courage to make choices, the dignity of being self-reliant, and the capacity to influence the direction of their lives and their communities. The evidence is clear. Societies that prioritize women's economic empowerment are more prosperous and stable. Women tend to invest a higher portion of their earnings back into their families and communities, driving education, health improvement, and overall well-being. This isn't just about improving women's lives. It's about uplifting entire societies. However, the journey towards such a society is far from over. Gender pay gaps persist. Women are underrepresented in leadership roles, and many face hurdles in accessing financial services and starting their own businesses. Tackling these challenges requires concerted effort from governments, businesses, and civil society. It requires policies that support gender equality in the workforce, education that prepares women for the future of work, and cultural shifts that dismantle stereotypes and biases. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, empowering women economically is not just a moral imperative. It is a strategic necessity. As we advance women's dignity and strength, we unlock a future that is brighter and more equitable for all. Let us commit to this cause, not just in words, but in action. Let us work together to build a world where every woman has the opportunity to thrive, lead, and inspire. We have a duty to our girls who need to see themselves in those who lead, girls, boys, indeed all people, need to understand that solutions will never be as effective as they can be if one half of the human race is not adequately represented at the decision-making table. It is counterintuitive otherwise. Allow me to end by recalling what Madame Michelle Bachelet, former Chilean president and former UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, once said. Women's economic empowerment is not a matter for gender only, but a matter for human development. I thank you.
Thank you, Permanent Representative from New York. Next, we would like to invite Ms. Akari Umenda, First Vice President of PPSEAWA International. Akari will connect online with us. She's going to have a brief introduction of PPSEAWA and economic empowerment. Akari, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Helen. I would like to thank you as our moderator for inviting me to address this esteemed gathering. And I appreciate the reflections offered by the Mayor of Taipei City and Her Excellency, Ambassador King, who preceded me. So I would like to tell you a little bit about our organization, PPSEAWA, and I am going to share some slides. So PPSEAWA was established in 1928 with the purpose of strengthening understanding of our cultures and the situation of women in the Asia-Pacific region. It's an organization comprised of individuals, mostly from the fields such as healthcare, education, social work, and the social sciences, devoted to the study and development of women's socioeconomic conditions. The United Nations has evolved since its inception in 1945, but one fact remains the same. It is a place where nations gather to discuss common problems and find shared solutions that benefit all of humanity. You may know the main bodies of the UN system: the General Assembly, the Security Council, and the International Court of Justice. PPSEAWA is part of the Economic and Social Council, ECOSOC, whose purpose is to advance the three dimensions of sustainable development: economic, social, and environmental. PPSEAWA International serves as a vice president on another body in the UN system called the Conference of Non-Governmental Organizations in Consultative Status with the UN, also known as CONGO. PPSEAWA is granted privileges such as sending representatives to UN conferences and submitting statements as civil society inputs to UN pacts and conventions. We are here today because of the 68th session of the Commission on the Status of Women. The Commission's purpose is to advance women's rights and gender equality. From the very beginning, CSW forged close relationships with civil society organizations, drawing on their data and expertise. The annual meeting in March takes place to review one aspect of gender equality and produce a set of agreed-upon conclusions for the General Assembly. There are parallel events highlighting work related to the theme. Others partake in the negotiation process around this zero draft, which will become the document of outcomes for this session. PPSEAWA has been involved with CSW since it began. Jessie Street, a diplomat from PPSEAWA Australia, and also a member of PPSEAWA Australia, helped to establish the Commission. She argued that a separate body from the Human Rights Council was necessary. She actually wanted a secretariat, but she was given a commission instead. Her dream of a full secretariat for women's rights was finally realized a short while ago in 2010 when UN Women was established, more than 60 years after she argued for it. It is also fitting to talk about Jessie Street now, today, because she was able to secure only one economic provision for equal employment in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Her other proposals, which were not accepted, were for equal pay and the right to freedom from violence at home and in the workplace. These are matters we continue to discuss during CSW 68. CSW, like the UN, has adapted to changing circumstances over time. From the end of World War II through the 1970s, the focus was on acquiring legal rights for women with regard to marriage, child custody, nationality, and inheritance. Then came the UN Decade for Women from 1976 through 1985. The emphasis shifted to eliminate discrimination against women in education, employment, and access to health care. The UN put more resources into women's rights by holding major world conferences. Each world conference followed the CSW tradition of being inclusive of civil society. Each UN Women's Conference also included a parallel NGO forum. So now we come to CSW's turning point. The turning point is in 1995, when the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action was adopted. It was built on a framework of women's rights as human rights. It laid out concrete ways for countries to achieve gender equality and the empowerment of women. The UN created Millennium Development Goals aimed at improving the lives of people in developing countries by 2015. Well, now we are more than halfway through another set of 17 Sustainable Development Goals, which are aimed at improving the lives of all people, not just in developing countries, by hitting specific targets by 2030. I had a little section about lessons from PPSEAWA programs for economic empowerment, and I'm going to show them while I simply read my closing portion. Advocacy at the UN means that we advocate for multilateralism and we think globally. Yet, PPSEAWA, at its heart, at its core, is a civil society organization working for the betterment of local communities. We document the reality of the daily lives of women and girls. We contribute our data in the UN to raise their visibility, to amplify their voices, and to offer their input to UN agencies. We work to overcome cultural as well as structural barriers for women from the ground up. And I'm going to show you my last slide. You can read it in the background. Thus, I am very excited because today we invite you to hear from our PPSEAWA sisters and other organizations on the panels who share this type of work with us. So I thank you for your kind attention today.
Thank you, First Vice President Akari. Now I would like to introduce our two honorable guests. Ms. Lucy Shi, from Dean of the Faculty of Image. Please stand up. And Ms. Patty Tan, founder of Taiwan Creative Economy Association. Very important person for us. Now the time is for our event panelists. Our first panelist is Ms. H.E. Angela Bowman, an ambassador of St. Vincent and Grenadines. Her topic is advancing women's dignity and strength through empowering women economically. Ambassador, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson, executive members of PPSEAWA, distinguished guests all, and my fellow panelists, good morning, and I thank you for the invitation to be here this morning. On the 14th of February, 2024, Valentine's Day in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, a 27-year-old mother of 7 children was raped and hacked to death by someone she knew. This heinous act took place while this young mother lay on a bed with her newborn twins, a boy and a girl, 2.5 months old. This mother's blood-drenched body was discovered by her 15-year-old son, her eldest child. This Valentine's Day horror encapsulates the heart-wrenching pain of the life of this woman, who is representative of the devastating impact of indignity, vulnerability, disempowerment, and economic violence to which far too many women are still exposed in the 21st century. The title of today's event is Advancing Women's Dignity and Strength Through Empowering Women Economically. But let us look at this 27-year-old mother's short journey with us. She became a mother at 12 years old. We know this because her eldest child is 15 years old. Within that 15-year time span, she mothered 6 other children up to 2.5 months before being raped and killed. This woman sold fruits as a means of income. One suspects that the fathers of her children may have contributed to their maintenance from time to time. A mother in such circumstances must have been known to the welfare authorities in our country. She may also have been the recipient of assistance from her relatives and friends. So many of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, for attainment in 2030 encompass the goals which women have been trying to attain since we first celebrated International Women's Day in March 1911, 113 years ago. The SDGs of no poverty, number 1, good health and well-being, number 3, quality education, number 4, decent work and economic growth, number 8, and reduced inequalities, number 10, all speak directly to addressing the plight of women's disenfranchisement. Yet, last month's Valentine's Day horror in my country is not a rare nor unusual occurrence the world over. Why are women still so woefully disempowered economically and otherwise? The title of our topic today begins with the word advancing. The use of this word suggests that advances have been made towards women's dignity and strength through empowering women economically, and that our quest at this stage is to continue this advancement. Yes, advances have been made in some of the more advanced economies of this world. But the restricted nature of these advances tells its own tale. The complexities which retard and prevent women's advancement from being more widespread are age-old and far too deeply entrenched. We women have to first free ourselves from the patriarchal constructs and concepts which reduce us to being the perpetual wards and property of men. We must know that men do not have to take care of us. Men do not own us. Equitable partnerships with men have to be the basis of our interactions, and attaining such equity often flies in the face of some religious and sacred beliefs for which men and some women will kill. Yet, we must free ourselves from this mental slavery. Attaining the requisite schooling so that we could be relevantly and appropriately educated is another complex hurdle which stands in the path of our advancement. Basic functional schooling is still the extent of the exposure to education which many women in the developing world attain. This is insufficient. Illiteracy is still the norm for women in too many areas of this world. As of 2022, 84% of women are recorded as being illiterate. This restricted exposure to schooling has run head-on into the digital age, which propels so much of the global information streams. This means that subliterate women are further locked out of crucial content and information to which they should have access. Worse still is the dominance of disinformation which subliterate women will not be able to decipher. Restricted education often hampers lucrative economic prospects and cripples women's ability to empower themselves economically. Hence, their dignity is terribly compromised and a dependency syndrome is maintained. Of course, this takes us back to our 27-year-old fruit vending mother of 7. Her route towards economic empowerment ended when she became a mother at 12 years old. Did her life have to take the path that it did? Of course not. But to what extent are our societies effectively outfitted with the social safety nets to capture such female victims? Sustainable Development Goal number 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions, failed this young mother and will continue to be a failure in the lives of many women come 2030 and beyond. So what do we, the women who have attained certain levels of advancement, do in order to assist the empowerment of the global sisterhood? We have to speak. We have to advocate. We have to act with consistency and conviction. Our privilege allows our voices to be heard, as is taking place today. When we occupy seats and positions of authority, we have to ensure that we embrace transformational leadership models which address the equity gap between men and women. When in positions of power, our emphasis must not be on the maintenance of a status quo which disenfranchises women. We must always see the centrality of women's rights to human rights. Incidentally, as of 2021, Taiwan had the highest female literacy rate in the world at 99.99%. Theoretically, this places women in Taiwan in a position to influence fundamental advances for themselves and for women throughout the world. Women in Taiwan are in a position to ignite the 2024 International Women's Day call to inspire inclusion. Together, our voices must count her in. Invest in women. Accelerate progress. We must act to empower ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador Bowman. Thank you. You may remind us SDG 1, SDG 3, SDG 4, SDG 8, SDG 10, and SDG 16. Thank you.
Thank
Now
you.
we would like to invite our President Fred Chan to present your certificate and the gift. Thank you. Our next panelist is Ms. Mondia Bahaba, President of PPSEAWA International. Her topic is Advancing Dignity and Strength through Women's Empowerment Economically. President Mondia, you are online with us? Thank you.
Yes,
It's for you.
thank you. สวัสดีค่ะ My name is Montia Pangsapha. Warmest greetings, Your Excellencies, honorary guests, and distinguished panelists, and all participants. Thank you, Ms. Akari Yamada, for your very clear introduction of our association. Thank you, Ms. Helen Yang, for making this parallel event possible. Dignity, the pride of oneself that everyone is born with, and all should strive to make dignity be more worthy, recognized, and respected. It's the right of a person to be valued for their own sake and treated ethically. One main objective of our association is to betterment the lives of women and girls. Therefore, our works focus on these groups, including youth and elders. We do open doors for other genders as well as appropriate. Women and girls in many countries and certain cultures are groups of least recognized and being treated unequally, especially if they have no or less education, and many do household work or jobs with low pay. They are our concern. I would still emphasize that education is important in all levels and need to be encouraged by communities, cities, and the government. Families are the key part to support learning so that their women and girls can have more secure lives, better jobs, and stand up as another strong citizen. May I bring up some examples of the activities that our PPSEAWA national member organizations have done successfully and gave pride, dignity, and strength to the women and girls in the community. 1. PPSEAWA Thailand has launched a West project in a small community outskirts of Bangkok, advising the women to turn West in their homes to profits. The women earn extra incomes for their personal uses and on homes. Special saving account has been set up to save their earnings from selling West, and they could withdraw the money whenever needed. They were very proud. The project has been introduced to other communities nearby. Besides extra earning, their homes are neat and clean too. Another one is in Pacific, PPSEAWA Fiji. With support from PPSEAWA International and the Mataniyavu community, helped building a bakery house for the Mataniyavu women. They learn to bake and sell their bakery to the people in the community and the communities nearby. Their incomes make better lives for the families and are appreciated from their husbands and families of the abilities to earn. From these two projects, women from each group in different countries did not have high education, and probably some hardly went to school at all. Their understandings of the possibility to gain their financial status brought betterment and pride in their lives. Everyone is also born gifted in certain ways. Do take out your special skills to better yourself. Some may be good at painting, drawing, needlework, cooking, etc. Do make use of your talents. During the pandemic time in Thailand, especially, many men lost jobs and women in the house did cooking, baking to sell online. They did make good business and able to keep the family going. Knowledge can be found everywhere and on lots of media, and any age can reach for it. Many of you here may are still in young ages and have opportunities to go far. Please go for it so that someday you can help less opportunity groups to have better lives too. In many remote areas around the world, there are still many women and girls that cannot read nor write, which make them have no chance of having good pay for their work. They do need help. The Ministry of Education in Thailand have launched a zero illiteracy project, which had been introduced in the country far and wide. There were times that lots of population were illiterate. The program was done by having the family member teaching their own family member to read and write. His son taught the mother and father, husband taught wife, a friend teaching a friend in factory. The results turned out to be great satisfactory. Those who were able to read and write were overwhelmed. They got promoted to better jobs and got more earnings. It's never too late to learn at all. Another good project is being in progress, namely fostering foundation to skilled learning. The project is under collaboration of the World Bank, the Equitable Education Fund or EEF, Thammasat University, and the National Statistical Office. The program is open to adults and vulnerable adults to upskill and reskill, irrespective of their unemployment status, aiming to build a learning society for adults and all genders, determining threshold skill levels and identifying low performers, demonstrating the nature of skills gaps using diagnostic of skill supply, and many others. I think this program is really useful and any community who set up this type of program to upskill all genders and ages. Through better learning and more earnings, women will bring even more happiness and peace to the family from their pride, being able to give sharing. Our accomplishments meet the goals of the UN SDGs on 1, no poverty, 2, zero hunger, 3, healthcare and sanitation, 4, education, 5, gender equality, 8, decent work and economic growth, and number 16, peace. Women and girls need opportunities to stand up gracefully, be strong in family and society too. Last but not least, I do urge women and girls to also keep concerned about the climate change and the environment on your target work. Be alert on news about happenings around you and the world, to be able to share information with family and community. This will be parts to uplift your dignity and strength. I would also encourage you all, everyone, to be recorded Gen S or Gender S. It stands for standing for sustainability. People, regardless of genders, age, and work, who stand for sustainability have the same goals to protect the environment, save the world from all harms, for all to live peacefully in this world. You will hear various thoughts and advice from other knowledgeable panelists to give you guidelines and could combine with your own ideas on how to uplifting your dignity, be strong economically, and be able to extend help and support to needed women and girls and vulnerable ones to stand proudly on their own. All the best to all women and girls, and thank you to all their partners, family, and community for their open minds and support. May peace be with us all. Thank you very much. Sawasdee.
Thank you, President Mondia. You point out that education and including skill learning are important for empowering women and girls. And stated, yes.
Yes.
Yes. And you stated the projects from PPSEAWA Thailand and PPSEAWA Fiji.
No.
That all accomplishments of
yes,
empowering.
like the skill, PPSEAWA Thailand has been teaching lots of women in small villages to work, to do handicrafts and things like that, to
yes.
earn. Yes.
Yeah. So this meet the SDG 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 16.
Yeah.
And President Fred Chen will also present you the certificate of appreciation and the gift. I will bring to you in October in Wellington.
Thank you.
Conference there. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Next, we have a gentleman panelist, Mr. Fred Chen, President of Taiwan Creative Economy Association. He specialized in 3D printing and scanning, as well as combination of technology and innovation. His topic for today is latest practical statistics on women's empowerment in Taiwan. President Chen, the floor is for you.
Okay. Dear Chair Lady, Ambassador Bowman, Sister Lorena, and Mr. Hamoi, Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and hello everyone. My name is Fred Chen. I'm the current president of TCEA. Today, I would like to explore Taiwan's recent progress in women's empowerment and how we can set an example on the global stage. And first of all, I would like to introduce the SIGI, Social Institution and the Gender Index, which is released by the OECD. That measure gender equalities in different countries by 4 major aspects with many indicators. Please be noted that the score is the lower, the better, 0 is the best, okay? And also please be reminded that due to the international political realities, Taiwan is not on the list. But however, by conducting the Taiwan status into the same methodology, in 2023, Taiwan did really well with a score of 9.2. Yeah. And which is way above the global average about 29.1, and ranked as the 6th in the world and number 1 in Asia. This shows Taiwan is doing great at treating everyone fairly, and no matter if they are a man or woman. And in my second slide, I would like to present you the GGI, Gender Gap Index, which is released by the World Economic Forum. This is measured from 4 sub-indexes. Please be noted that the gap is between the score to 1. Okay, to 1. So if the score is 1, that means there's no any gap between male and female. Again, after conducting Taiwan's data, Taiwan got a score of 0.764. Okay, ranked as 34 within 146 countries, and number 2 in Asia, just behind Philippines. So this shows Taiwan is among the top countries working hard to treat women and men equally. And this slide presents you the Gender Equality Index, GEI, which is released by European Institute for Gender Equality. As conducting the same methodologies, in 2022, Taiwan's score is 67.8, ranked as the 12th here. And this is a little bit poorer than German, but better than a half of EU member states. And this slide is the GII, Gender Inequality Index, which is released by the UNDP in 2021. Again, as by data of 2021, Taiwan's GII value is 0.036, number 7 among the 171 countries, and number 1 in Asia again. This shows Taiwan is doing really well in making sure women have the same opportunities as men in healthy, in empowerment, and the job market. So now let's review more data from the statistics result in politics. Okay. As you might already know, year 2022, Taiwan had a nationwide election for municipal and county mayors and councilors. The 6 seats of municipal mayors, there's only 1 is female. So the female ratio is around 17%. However, if you look at the result of the county mayor, there is 9 of 16 seats are females. The female to male ratio is 56% vs 44%. Yeah. But if we count the number together with the municipal mayors, the ratio will be changed reversely into 45 versus 55%. This means that most of the Taiwanese people doesn't consider the gender of the government leaders. And it also can tell by the election result of the councillors. As you may see, the female councillor ratio of the municipal is nearby 40%. And the county is a little bit less to 36%. But I would like to point out in the same election, we have the most fundamental elected officials is the village and the neighborhood representative, 村里长选举. The female ratio is only less than 20%. So this means there's still a gender gap for the public affairs. Okay, now we go to the most recent election result for the president and lawmakers, which happened just this January. The current female president, Tsai Ing-wen, will transfer her position to her vice, the president-elect Lai Ching-te, a new president this May. And it happened at the same time is the female ratio of the new House of the Congress. As the previous is the female ratio is to 42% as the previously. It's worthy to watch if there's any policy change after the new president on board for the gender equality and women empowerment policies. Okay, now we compare the change of women in public sectors within the last decade. As shown here, the female ratio of the government employee, is increased from 39.9% to 42.8% in year 2022. Most of them are located at the middle-ranking officers. Here, to the female ratio of 58.9% in 2022. You also can tell some high position officers, such as the cabinet ministers and the grand justice, the ratio increase. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the women in business. And now for small and medium-sized enterprise, as of the 2022, the women owned 33.3% of the SMEs. And the number is more than 600,000 businesses. To compare with 2012, there's about 27% growth. However, the highest ratio of the women-owned business belong to service industry, such as accommodation, catering, and education service. And how about the women in the big companies like the listed and the OTC companies? In 2022, there were more than 2,000 female directors of both in all listed and OTC companies, which account for 15.6% of all directors. Among the ratio is climbing since the year 2013. However, there's still a gap between for the decision-making level. So the new regulation requires that all listed and OTC companies must include at least one female board member. So hoping this will help to decrease the gap. And now we see the gender pay gap. In 2022, the average total monthly salary and working hour for Taiwanese male and female is shown as the table here. As you may see, the average hourly wage for male is $373 and $314 for female. The gender pay gap therefore is 15.8%. This ratio referred to OECD announced international data. Taiwan is in the middle. Just a little bit better than USA, but still behind the major countries like UK, Australia, and New Zealand. And now we see women in education. In Taiwan, women's participation in education is quite high. As you can see, more than 50% of the higher education graduates in 2020s were women. However, if you look at the degree level of the graduates, 71.6%, okay, of associate degree holder were women. 52.7% of the bachelor were also female. But for advanced degrees such as the master and doctorate degree, the proportion of women is relatively low. Compared with other Asian countries, Taiwan is better than Japan, but still lower than South Korea. So maybe this is because of most of the master and doctors in Taiwan belong to technology and engineering field. So now go to the conclusion. Taiwan has seen notable advancement in women's empowerment, excelling in global gender equality rankings such as the SIGI, GI, and GI. Okay, women's political engagement have growth, with more serving as ministers, legislators, and mayors. While women lead in SMEs and public companies, disparities persist. Ongoing effort aim to bridge the gender gap in business leadership and wage equities. Taiwan is emerging as a pivotal player in advancing gender equities, both within Asia and on the world stage. Its cooperative strategies not only enhance its leadership potential, but also contribute significantly to social well-being and development. And last, furthermore, I would like to take a few minutes to introduce TCEA. TCEA was established in 2022. Mainly, it's all about bringing together creative mind from art, culture, technology, and more. TCEA has been making Taiwan a hotspot for creative and cultural industrials and help Taiwan's artists and creators get the resources they need and connect them with the world. TCEA's goal is not just about Taiwan. It is part of the global effort to make sustainable development happen everywhere. So what does TCEA do? First, TCEA acts as a think tank. TCEA is like a brain center providing information and advice on the creative economy and how to develop it sustainable. And second, as an online platform, TCEA hosts events and workshops where creatives can meet, learn, and work together. And the third, TCEA acts as a talent cultivation. TCEA helps cultivate talents with the skill required in today's creative market and focus on the original design, business know-how, and sustainability knowledge. So here's our commitment. The most important one is the last point. Okay. Revitalize the local and global partnership for sustainable development. Okay. The following, I would like to show you some events what we had hosted for the past. This is the 2021 ESG and SDG Green Forum, mainly for eating healthy and go green with life. This is for the 2022 Green Party and ESG Forum, continuously as the previous year. And this is the International Green Party and the Sustainable Forum held last year. We invite the chairperson of the UN Congo, Dr. Bautista, to attend. He's here. Well, this will be all of my presentation. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you for President Chen. Our next panelist is Ms. Mandy Chen, President of PPSEAWA Taiwan. She also a medical doctor. Her topic is employment woman bridge the gap with the PPSEAWA Taiwan. President Chen, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, moderator and my fellow panelists. Thank you so much for making my talk so much easier because I think you already talked like half of my talk. So can I have my slides? Thank you. So today I would like to talk about how to empower women bridging the gap with PPSEAWA Taiwan. I believe by sharing our experience here in Taiwan, we can see we have a lot more common grounds and we can cooperate together and find solutions. So we can ensure, like our previous panelists say, that not only women who already has resources can grow and thrive, but also women who are in relatively disadvantaged situations can be well protected and supported. I would like to use this opportunity to thank Dr. Lai Hongru, who is a professor at National Chinan University, for helping me putting this presentation together. So next slide, please. So here are some things that we already know. There is a strong connection between women and poverty, and the gender pay gap, unpaid care work, limited access to education, and discriminations. All these factors create a circle of poverty for women, making it hard to break free. And when women lacks economic security, it has far-reaching consequences. Next slide, please. It can lead to health issues, violence and exploitations, limited education for children, and also intergenerational poverty. So Taiwan's gender equality has made great strides. From previous talk, from President Chen's talk, we can see the progress we have made with laws, regulation, politics, and also initiative. But we still have many challenges. I'll go through the next one really quickly because Fred already has gone through it. We can see we have so many number ones. So GEE, number one in Asia. GGI also pretty good compared to all other countries. And the legislature also number one in Asia. But we are not without our own challenges. So first I want to look at is the female-headed household poverty, which is one of the main sources of poverty for women in Taiwan. So if we look at here, the female-headed household has increased over the years from 19.6% to 29.3%. If we look at the income of these female-headed households, we can see the income gap has widened. So from 2012 to 2022, we can look at the income for male household and also the female household. For male household, is way above 1 million NT dollars, but for female household, it's definitely below that. And you can see the discrepancy is about 23.3%. So let's also look at the single parent households. We can see in the blue, it has increased in the past 20 years. And among them, the number of single mother household has always been more than that of the single father household. Mothers is in yellow and the fathers in gray. And you can also see that in the single female household, single parents, mother is actually higher, is 17.4%, much higher than single father, which is 6.4% in the all male households. And what does this mean? So we can see that the children poverty rate is nearly 3 times more for single mother family compared to both parents' family. So it's 18.4% compared to 5.4. So 18.4% in the single mother family who actually has children poverty rate in Taiwan nowadays. So that's why I want to bring this up. It's one of the challenges, and I think we can all work together to counter it. Again, we can see the low-income female-headed household are either divorced, widow, compared to male household. More than half of them are compared to male is not nearly as much. And another challenging we have is our elderly population has grown very fast from it's 1990 to 2030. If you can see the graph here, the females in blue and the males in green. And the growth rate is the faster for elderly women than elderly men. But if we look at the income sources for these elderly women and elderly person, you can see that more elderly women require economic support from their partner, children, and also from government assistance. So you can see it's a lot more, 36.9 from their partners or children, 16.9 from assistance or allowance from the government. So that compared to male whose dependency on these sources are much less. And the gender pay gap that was mentioned before. So Taiwan was doing pretty well pre-pandemic. Our gap has like steadily narrowed throughout the years. But since pandemic has actually increased, you can see it has widened to 15.8%. I think this is a result from lower pay rates for women during the pandemic period, and also due to the economic impact on different industries brought by the pandemic. This is another challenge that we are facing in Taiwan. We have already made a little bit improvement over the years, but there's still some work to do. So this is the female labor participation rate in major countries. If you look at that, compared to Japan, US, Korea, we're doing pretty good. You know, we are in the red. You know, look at the age 25 to 29. We have 89.9%, which is much better than other countries. But as women ages, when they got into marriage or pregnancy, you can see it just keep going down and down. Never really recovered like other countries. So this is not like some data from 10 years ago or anything. This is from just 2 years ago. So this is definitely something I think we can work on. So we need to know why. Why are these women leaving our labor market when you are so short of like working people? Like why are we not staying in our careers? What's forcing them to go? So so we have to look at the survey by Ministry of Labor. So the main reason is doing housework, which account for 54%. And taking care of family members, including taking care of children under 12, elderly family member over 65 years old, disabled family member accounts to 17%. So all these women leaving the labor market because they need to support their family. They need to do housework, they need to take care of their family. So how do we provide a better environment for them to stay? This is something we all need to think about. Also, there's a survey from May last year that shows before the youngest child reached age of 15, the employment rate for women with a partner is about 70%, while for men it's more than 90. And if they have a child who is under 3 years old, the employment rate is 69% compared to that of men is 97%. So that means more female will stay home, take care of the children before their kids reach 3 years old. And the difference is 28%. So how do we provide a path back to their career after their kids reach 3 years old and not to drop off the curve is very, very important. We are also observe that when you have more than one children, the employee rate definitely goes down, but the partners actually stay still above 90%. So women still bear a greater burden of childcare. And how do we take the burden off women and let them have equal rights and can stay in the career? So I think with all this talk, we are not just advocating to women because we all know this. We are in this. We are also advocating to men, to other people, for them to realize this is something we can work together. So another data shows that women spend 3 times the amount of time on unpaid work than their spouses. And the hours has not decreased, although we already have like dishwashers and like wonderful cooking machine, robots, mop and thing. The hours still increasing, and the women still spend like more than 2.6 hours per day than their spouses and partners on unpaid work. And so we also in terms of making decisions at a higher level, we're making progress, but definitely can improve some more. And we also saw this from our first presentation. So we have 37.2 SMEs that's woman-owned. But if you look at the employees in Science Park, our employees still predominantly male, with female employee less than 40%. And we all know technology is a big thing for Taiwan. And also the income is definitely higher in STEM fields compared to others. So to summarize, we see a great progress in Taiwan's gender equality, but there are definitely many challenges that we're still facing, including poverty in single woman household, economic vulnerability in older women, gender pay gap, and unpaid care work, and a gender gap in decision-making level and also in STEM field. So what can an NGO like PPSEAWA do to help improve this, to empower women and to close a gap? So thanks to Akari and our president, Mandia, we already know a lot of work that we are doing as PPSEAWA. And this is a photo that we have from the international conference held here in Taipei 3 years. Wait, back in 2019, supposedly 3 years ago, but okay. So we are an international non-governmental organization. And these are our mission statements. And PPSEAWA Taiwan is following our mission statements and is making a difference. So internationally, we have participating, co-organized, host many CSW payroll event like today, thanks to Helen and all our PPSEAWA sister Amy there. You know, they contribute so much of our presence in the UN. And these are some of the payroll events that we have done in the past few years. We also done many other projects here in Taiwan. I'll just go over them very briefly. Okay. So we co-organized the APIS, Asian Pacific Social Innovation Summit, for 2 years consecutively. And we invite experts from industry, government, academia for forums for women and try to come out with solution, more innovative solution in social enterprise, try to see if there are any more creative ways to counter the problems that I had mentioned before. We also help youth training programs for 5 consecutive years. with the support of Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the lectures and workshop and the young students across country with main focus on understanding the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, gender equality, international relations, global politics, and economics. So every year we have many students, like hundreds of students coming from all over Taiwan, and hopefully from Furen Daxue this summer can join us, and so we can learn more about the SDGs and also how to improve Taiwan's gender equality. We also have many seminars and workshops. We have seminars on the Women for SDGs, women in negotiation. We also have like female entrepreneurship. So all to advocate for different audience. So we'll see where they need us and what topic is in need. So we'll just go to them and help forums. We also celebrate the International Day of Girls, and we'll do different projects with young girls and then also over the internet. This is something I'm really passionate about, is the Gender Impact Accelerator, GIA, which was first launched by us, PPSEAWA Taiwan, and the Women's Rights Foundation. So we're calling on young social entrepreneurs to propose innovative projects to implement gender equality and promote women's rights. And then we provide a series of training courses and mentored by industry experts will hopefully accelerate the realization of gender equality and sustainable development. So you can see on the right, these are our first year 2021's winners. So for Safe Buddy, who is from Japan, they developed an app to show the urban street safety. So a lot of people know this street is more crime, that street is more safe. So and the second one is Salasusu. They also do a lot of work with our underprivileged women. So they teach them how to do a lot of like bags and other stuff so they can sell online. So, but they provide childcare so they can bring their kids to work. And at the same time, they learn these skills and then make money. And the third one is the first NGO on the menstrual equality, Little Red Hood in Taiwan. And these are our second year winners. So the All Gender Accommodation, they actually have website and app for gender-friendly hotels and place to visit. And they also promote certification for gender-friendly places. And the second place, 巧妇织布 also is teaching rural area women doing some weaving and make a lot of different products to sell online. So when they have to quit the career, they don't have to quit earning money. They can still make money as a group together at home. And then this group will help them sell things online. And the third group is We Room. They promote breast health. And also they have this very interesting immersive workshop. So they do a lot of artwork, so make people appreciate their body, for women to appreciate their breasts, and so also focus on the various health issue alone. So I'm really proud of our project, and I hope to have more projects and support more young children. So thank you so much for the opportunity to speak today.
Thank you very much, President Chen.
So
Right now,
one more, because we are an all volunteer organization, and we couldn't get this far and do all this project without our members. So we welcome all of you to join us, PPSEAWA Taiwan, and we can all do this work with help similar-minded friends all over the world. And so hopefully we can all help make everybody's life better. Thank you.
excellent. Thank you very much. Please stay. Right now, President Chen will present a gift certificate. Thank you.
Now we would like to invite Sister Loman Margarita Merita, Board of Directors of Furen University Foundation. Her topic is very interesting. Be change. Walk the talk. Take the lead. Sister Merita, the floor is for you.
Forward, backward. Okay. Mr. President, distinguished guests, thank you very much for the invitation to this conference. Just today, we have the Board of Trustees meeting at Furen University, and we have a new president. So everybody is very anxious to know what is on his mind. So that is why I can't be here only, unfortunately, for some time. So the topic recommended to me was be the change, walk the talk, take the lead. Now, it's very, I'm in education, and you might be very surprised, none in the fashion business. Yeah, but I think in the education, that's where everything begins to change. The problem is not the environment. The real problem is the human being. So, and since there are so many, I think the fashion industry is moved by women. So, and also in our department, in our College of Textiles and Fashion and Textiles at Furen University, most of our students are women. Okay, there we are. So Furen University is committed to holistic education and based on the universal values of truth, goodness, beauty, and holiness. They are university values. And you see, truth is related to the intellectual development, goodness to the responsible use of our freedom, beauty is the emotional cultivation and creativity, and as a Catholic university, we stress holiness. But holiness comes from whole, and whole is related to healthy. So healthy body, soul, and spirit. So, and the aim is to educate students who are, the Latin word is Homo sapiens, students who have not only knowledge or technical skills, but who have wisdom, because that's needed for a better world. So in the education and in our department, I don't know why it changes all the time. This is advanced? Okay, this is advanced, yeah, okay. So already the name of our university fits in very well with the globalization of solidarity. The name Furen is, I think the best word to translate it is solidarity. And I'm very proud that when the Western missionaries went to Beijing and established this Catholic university, they first studied the culture and to see what is in this culture that connects with us. So they discovered Confucius, who had this ideal of that the most important is in the education is to develop people with a sense of like a solidarity. So already, so in our university anthem, there is one sentence. It says, 天下贵人, all below the sky should be toward development of solidarity. And that's what Confucius said 2,500 years ago. It couldn't fit better into the world of today. And every politician or church leaders are using this word. So in line with the ancient Chinese and Christian world vision, our university based on, what also the ancient Chinese knew already, so that within the 4 seas, all are brothers and sisters. So 2,500 years ago, they already had this global family concept. And another inspiring word from that time was the goods of Mother Earth are all to be owned and shared by all. 世界大同, the global commonwealth. That's exactly couldn't be more fitting to our world or more needed. So it is moving all the time. Maybe somebody can help me. It is moving all the time. Okay. Okay. So I think the 2 greatest teachers in the world are Confucius and Jesus. Confucius, so Fudan University is a holiday. I think the only one in Taiwan with a holiday on Confucius Day, September 28. So Confucius was convinced that do not do to others what you don't want others to do to you, the analects. Jesus says almost the same in a little bit more positive way, love one another as you love yourself, or as I have loved you. So I think those are my teachers, and like them, kind of, when I was young and I read the scriptures, I feel I was inspired by go into the whole world, teach and make disciples. So I think I'm a disciple of both. I did a special study on Confucius. And these days I saw there is a new movie coming out. It's Mother Cabrini. And she went from Italy to the United States. And one famous saying of her is, the world is not big enough for me. Yeah, next one. Oh, no. Okay, so when I was young, you see the picture at the left side. You see all these young women there who want to, like me, go into the whole world. And so it's a choice, but my missionary experience has also been a mandate. So in 1959, I chose to join the International Religious Order of the Missionary Servants of the Holy Spirit. It was the first German order that could send women into the whole world. Before it was just only in our own country. We are also known as the Blue Sisters. So in 1966, I had a mission mandate for Taiwan. So before I had been 3 years in the Philippines. In 1970, I was appointed to lead or establish the first fashion and textile program in a bachelor's degree at Fudan University. And that was a really challenge for me. Really fashion, a missionary involved in the fashion world. Wow, what does that mean? So it was really, I can say, a vocational crisis, but kind of I consoled myself with what does Taiwan need now? In those days, it was the garment industry, the labor was very cheap. And so this was filling a need. And so I thought, okay, it's okay with me, so be it. And anyhow, as religious, we vow obedience. So we can express our wish where we want to go, but in the end, you're appointed. So just, so be it. Then in the department with my limited Chinese and limited knowledge of culture, so from our beginning, we had the slogan, together we can make it. Yeah. So, and I think that worked miracles of collaboration among the staff and faculty, but also with industry. So you see this building, that's our textile college there, and it was mainly founded by the fashion industry. I'm very proud of that. Next one, please. See that you see something about together we can make it in the Up there, you see our Christmas party, and to the left, you see our students, and the children are the children of the staff and teachers, and there are some alumni and some international rewards, and I'm very proud to be also a Taiwan citizen. Next one. Okay, I think I really learned to appreciate this word, bloom where you are planted. So this assignment to in the textile department and the graduate school, I was for 24 years in leadership in those two positions. And then in 2017, we became the 12th college at Furen University. And still, if I think of those 57 years almost in Taiwan and since 1970 in the fashion education. So I'm a very special feature there, you know, every day wearing the religious dress. And but it doesn't mean that I don't appreciate fashion. I think fashion has so much to do with human dignity and with human identity. So we talk about dress as the visible self, yeah. And anyhow, but in this fashion world, the way I dress, I think also has its meaning, and it's a message saying, you know, maybe there is more to fashion also than only what you wear. So paradoxically, you know, this nun, if I think of it now, with all those challenges towards sustainable development. So I said to the other day, it came to my mind, you know, it seems I am the most sustainable fashion supermodel in our department, in our, yeah. So because all the time we hear, you know, reduce and recycle and so on. So I can tell the students, you know, some of the dresses I have, the one I wear today, maybe it's 20, 30 years old, and it's not originally my own, it's from some other older fellow sisters. So that's just an example, not to say that everybody has to follow this way, please. Yeah, so here we are now in the fashion industry at the big change, since the fashion industry is the second polluting business in the world. So reduce, reuse, recycle, and because fashion, you know, has been led all these years and decades by by capitalism and the free market dynamics. So which is based on global competition and the principle of survival for the fittest. And that has caused all the problems of fast fashion and what we have now, the environmental pollution and so on. So this whole globalization of capitalism has also influenced university teaching. So we are always, you know, the students, where are the jobs? Where is the money? Where is the earning? Where is the profit? So universities have also been pressured into the direction of, you know, developing or producing Homo economicus instead of Homo sapiens with wisdom or profit-oriented. Okay, next one. So this is the turning point now in the fashion industry. There are the United Nations Global Development Goals, and there is Pope Francis with his 7-year action plan. And so what you can hear now, what our students hear already from the freshman year is slow fashion, green fashion, eco fashion, ethical fashion, old is new, less is more, and then the 3D and so on. So it is about, you know, so walk the talk, a lot of talking in the university, but so be the change, you know. And I tell the university, the freshmen already, I tell them, you are the change makers, you know, take the lead. So Pope Francis is very anxious to especially take the lead, since Christian universities have a holistic concept of philosophy of education, and there are more than 1,300 Catholic universities in the world. So there is really a possibility of network and do something influential for the well-being of the global citizens. Okay, next one, please. Yeah, so the Pope says something very challenging. He says, only by changing education can we change the world, not just by education. Changing education can we change. So it shocked me in the beginning. What he really means is humanizing education. And that means, you know, if you look at the United Nations sustainable the goals, it is people first, people, planet, prosperity, peace, and partnership. So it's the human being that matters. So now we are, you know, challenged to refashion the world. Remaking, fashion comes from making, to refashion the world. And as I just said, I tell the freshmen already, you are the change makers, be the change. It is up to you and me to refashion first ourselves, the future of humanity. And women play a major role in that. You are what you wear, what you choose. And as a fashion professional, you know, there is more to it than only your salary. Okay, next one, please. Okay, so it is highest time, you know, to remember what our ancient wisdom people told us already 2,500 years ago, that our planet is a common home, that we share this together, and that we are all co-responsible. And this is Mother Nature, you know, also this feminine concept, you know, to live in peace. And the Chinese have a very nice word, which is all saying, which is also in our university hymn. It says, 知人, 知天, 知人, 知无, 知天. Everything is there in your global solidarity and universal love and global family consciousness. Okay, I think we are almost done. Okay, this is just an addition, you know. So, you know, I feel in the university, I'm a kind of a change maker in the sense that always the right person comes at the right time in my life. You know? And I match them together and something will happen. So this is a big project about 那个是辅仁大学的生态校园 the Eco Campus. And you see our new president who presented this morning, he is from Sydney Western University, and his campus received last year the #1 award for Eco Campus. So God sent him to Furen University. I think he wanted to help me, or she wanted to help me. So this is a very, you know, it's from the infrastructure to the education, because in the end, it's still education. So I'm very, we have also founded an association to promote the fund, especially the fundraising. Okay, last one. So I can only say, so help us God, and all who love and care about education and the future of humanity. Women unite, take the lead. Together we can make it. And don't forget, bloom where you are planted, because everybody has a unique role. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sister Renata. And President Chen will present a appreciation certificate and a gift. Let's take a photo.
Our last panelist for our morning session is Mr. M. Will Hamel, Chairman of Urban Chamber of Commerce, Taiwan. His topic is From Vision to Action, Arab Taiwan Chamber's role in women's economic empowerment. Will, the time is for you.
dear Your Excellency, Ambassador Bowman, distinguished guests, partners, and friends. Assalamu alaikum. Tajahaw. Today, I'm thrilled to share our vision and actions towards empowering women economically. We believe we are here actually, all of us today, because we believe the world should give like fair chance to each and every woman in the world. And at the Arab Chamber of Commerce, we're not only talking about it, actually we are doing it. And that's what we take action about it every day. And today I am here to share what do we do to support especially the women where they are from Taiwan, how we help them to go global, especially to the Arabic countries, and how to get strong. So let's join me to dive into these actions towards what we do with the women. Let me start by telling you where I come from. I come from a community and faith where we emphasize the importance of the women, especially the mothers, as an Arab, as an Muslims also. We have an inspiration, and also we got teach from our prophet saying that the paradise, the heaven is under the feet of your mother. Means what Islam teach us and what our prophet ask us is we need to not only support our women and mothers. We need to carry their weight. We need to whimper their tears. We need to kiss their hands. We have to do a lot of things because people have maybe different vision about the woman in the Arab world. That's why I'm sharing this first, to let you understand how we treat women in Islam and in the Arabic countries. So to reach the paradise or the heaven where Muslims and believe, we need to clean her, cook for her, strive for her, hold her hands in order to get the gift. And if you are asking maybe yourself, why it's Prophet said it's under the feet of your mother, not in her hands, because simply we believe if the heaven is in the hand of your mom, simply she will give it to you. So you need to earn it, to work so hard in order to reach. Maybe some of you doesn't know what is the Arab Chamber of Commerce does here in Taiwan. So let me start by telling you what is the Arab Chamber of Commerce does. We are part of organizations where all the chambers of commerce here in Taiwan. So we have the French chamber, Swedish chamber, British, American, Canadian, and Australian, where the women play very important role in these chambers where we have it equally. All of the chambers here in Taiwan, we report to the Ministry of Interior, so we don't work with the MOFA here. We are locally to support you guys. Ministry of Interior means we work inside the country. That's why we report to the Ministry of Interior. And regarding the Arabic countries, the first things always people said, Arab, Saudi Arabia. No, we are 22 countries. Maybe that's new information to some of our local people here in Taiwan. So we are 22 countries, and that's all these countries here, they speak one language. Now, people also sometimes they misunderstand. They ask me about the women in the Middle East. Middle East is only this area where Turkey and Iran is not Arab. But the Arabic countries, as I mentioned, are here. So almost we are like 411 million Arab just in the Middle East. And in these countries, we are 22 countries, almost 420 million speakers, and we have 3 religions in the Arabic countries. Means not all of the men and women in the Arabic countries are Muslims. We have 3 religions. We have the Christians and the Jew and sure the Muslims, and we all speak one language. And in this language, if you want to learn Arabic, you all know how to say sugar, which is Arab. Lemon is also Arabic. Candy is also Arabic. Algebra, this all are Arabic language. So it's not very far. This is the Muslim world. So there is the Arabic world, which I was sharing before, and there is the Muslim world, where for example, Indonesia has the largest population as an Islam, not Saudi Arabia, not Egypt, not Dubai, not Syria. It's Indonesia, actually. And usually, all of the people thought, like the Arabic woman, they just cover like this, which also not very true. And people always thought about desert. They thought about all Arab are rich, all women cover, and we just have the camel, which is not very true. Would you please just help me, if you guys have a Google, maybe trust Google more than me, and check this question. May anyone know what is the oldest university in the world founded by women? Anyone knows where is this university? Do you think it's in US, Italy? Italy, let's try to Google, please, this question. What is the oldest university in the world founded by women? It's in Morocco, which is Arabic country. And you can please go ahead and use this question. So we start that as an Arab, Morocco is an Arabic country also. The one in Italy, yes, after, but we asked the question about the women's. Thank you, sister. Actually, those are our famous, some of our singers, for example, as an Arab woman. And some facts, really, not all Arab are rich. That's false. Don't believe this. And not all the women's cover. And Dubai is not, it's just the capital, yeah. Let me share something by our women.
The future of the UAE needs to be driven by knowledge, and it needs to be fueled by knowledge. The percentage of women in the UAE space sector is 34%, and the percentage of women at the UAE Space Agency is 44%. So you'll see women engage in space science, technology, engineering, and math. You'll see women engage in space law and policies. You'll see women engage in space missions.
I think the UAE has set a very good example in the topic of women empowerment for the region to follow. They built the right infrastructure for every Emirati woman to succeed in every aspect here in the UAE.
Well, my name is Farah Mazni. I'm a space science engineer at the UAE Space Agency, and I'm part of the Emirates Transition Science team. Our motto is the impossible is possible, and we can do anything.
They record this video especially to us, from UAE, to tell us today. And that's, they reach Mars already. Those are our women. So maybe, thank you. We are the second country after India where we send the rocket to Mars. And that's happened in last February 2021. So regarding us right now as an Arab Chamber of Commerce, or we call it ACCT, Arab Chamber, how we support the women's trajectory and impacts. We work, for example, we doesn't have the honor to work with PPSEAWA, doctor, so maybe in the near future we will be working with your organization. Here is an organization, I believe many of you know, it's the International Federation Business Women in Taiwan. And we invite also a speaker from the women to speak about us. So we bring the Arabic women here to Taiwan and the women. Maybe I would share fast experience video with them to understand about how we get them together, how our culture.
这是一个非常精心规划的一个国际文化节。
We give them like a platform to talk to each other, where we help also the startups, women who have a startup products. So that's our support. And we get all the representatives, diplomats, business people to understand also about our culture. Also, in Taiwan, we work closely with the TIWC, the Taipei International Women's Club. And if I stand here next year, also we work with your organization. Thanks, Mrs. Helen, for this opportunity. And that's how we learn more about the community here in Taiwan. Last March, actually on Women's Day, we had the honor also that Ambassador Berman was delivering speech. You remember Ambassador during also, this is also one of our events last year on March. And at the same time, there was the earthquake in Syria and Turkey, but we specialize just in Syria to let the people in Taiwan knows. The last organization that I will be speaking about today is Women's in Logistics, which is started also by some Arabic women and Taiwanese women here in Taiwan. They help, and it was featured in Centered Magazine. They support all the females that work in transportation logistics. And I will share the 1 second name and find them in Facebook. And you can join them in the near future. This organization is just like a great achievement for us where we support the women here in Taiwan. The last information I will be sharing today is, according to the UNESCO, actually the gender equality here with the Arabic countries. First, let me say the negative things. We don't have like legal quota for the percentage of the women that they must. But at the same time, it's remained the major concern that we have the lowest female economy participation in 2027. But according to the UNESCO, we have 34 until 57 of the STEM grades in Arabic countries for the women, which is much higher than so many universities. Means they get very well education, but they don't go to work. And that's because of our society, mainly because the community, like where they doesn't have to work, but they did get very well studied. That will be my last question to you guys, also to understand, like, do you know where is the oldest capital in the world come from? The oldest capital, not the city. Capital means civilization, right? And there's where also our movements. It's from Damascus. Damascus is the capital of Syria. That's the oldest. You can also Google the question again. And so working with the civilization and with the women and supporting came from very long time with us. And that's it for me for today. If you'd like to learn more about us, you can find us and find our information in Taiwan. Thanks for the organizers. Thanks for all of you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Right now, President Chen will represent a certificate and the gift.
We only have 4 minutes left for Q&A. So I think we can accept 2 questions. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. No? Okay, then our morning session is finished now. And we will invite all the panelists and the honorable guests to go to the stage, and when we have a group photo.
现场各位贵宾，我们现在要进行大合照，那请大家往中间的位置靠，那这样子我们拍起来会比较好看。现场的各位贵宾，两边的两侧的贵宾，请尽可能的往中间的位置坐，谢谢各位。好，那好，麻烦一下，那个现场的贵宾尽可能往中间坐哈，谢谢各位。然后后面的可以再往前靠一点吗？就是前面有空位的都可以补上这样子。
可能前面把它补齐，比较不会空空的。
谢谢大家的配合。来，那手上如果有什么牌的要举的，现在都可以举起来，给大家免费做广告的时间。来哦，谢谢大家。好，那我们摄影师要拍喽。来，1、2、3，笑。好，那再换个姿势，比个赞，谢谢。好，谢谢各位。